All right. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. We're going to stream for about 30 minutes today because Seb and I are booked all day long. But we definitely wanted to get one in this week because I think literally last week we promised that we were going to do it every week, and then this week we were like, can we do it? So here we are.
We got to do it just continuously. There's still news happening. A
Yep.
lot of cool stuff is happening in the agentic space, be it from all the
Sure.
stuff that we're doing at Solo, and all the stuff that I'm just catching up on the internet. To be honest, with OpenClaw still a big thing. People are still talking about it. There's Hermes agents, a new thing I've been playing around with a lot. Is pi.dev.
Oh, nice.
I'm not sure if you've jumped into it, but
Dude, I'm still on the open code bandwagon, to be honest. I've been like open code with Qwen 3.6. Qwen 3.6 started SIHTTINGing the bed for me today. So I now switched back to GPT 5.5.
Are you just using like the biggest? So I
No.
have a DGX Spark running here with.
Oh, yeah, we got to talk about that too.
Right. And I have it. It's all behind Agent Gateway for me, and it's all doing fun things. I'll actually even share the repo. I'm just rebuilding my whole lab environment. I'll just share it in. Why not? I just share. Nobody can access anything, but it's just a way. I'm just building out this environment for Agent Gateway, and behind it I have the Spark, where I'm load balancing or proxying the DGX, because I did find the Qwen model compared to GPT and Opus and all that stuff is that it doesn't really care about me injecting secrets. Like I use OpenClaw, I'm using Hermes agents, and I'm using Claude, and I'll throw in my, like, I'm not sure if you noticed, but if you throw in an API key or like some secret into Claude will tell you, hey, go rotate this.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah.
But that's based on the client. But
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like to be fair, that's based on the client, right? Like that's not based on the model itself. So like you could probably do the same thing in open code. What I have found is so like I'm working on a customer configuration this morning for on-prem models, because they're doing like LLMD and VLLM and such, because they're running some stuff on-prem for their modeling. And I'm putting this configuration together, and like I knew what I needed to do, but I was like, I'm gonna ask Qwen, right, to see like what direction it goes on. And the only thing was, so like when you install Agent Gateway, there's a value that you can set for the inference extension. And when you do that, based on the image that you're using, right, it might need to use the enterprise Agent Gateway CRDs. So long story short, I enabled it. Pod was failing, right? I knew the pod was failing because I needed to specify the version of the image because it was cached. Man, Qwen took me down this path of rewriting my RBAC permissions and like this and that. And I was like, no. And then I open up GPT and I'm like, hey, what's going on here? And it's like, oh yeah, just put the version. I was like, cool. But like yesterday and the day before, like it seemed to be better. And I don't know. So like I've been using Fireworks AI for this, but I don't know, like you might have different results. So this is the other thing too. Like I can take the same model and I can run it across a DGX, and I can run it across Fireworks AI, and I can run it across a VM, and I can run it across a Kubernetes cluster. And I guarantee you I will get different results, because it's all about how much hardware is available for processing and reasoning. That's why, well, aside from like client issues like Claude Code and such, like the client itself, if you are still having issues, regardless of what client you're using, the reason why you're having issues is because you need more processing power. Otherwise, the model won't be able to reason properly. So, like, it's so hard for me to be like, Is it me? Is it the hardware? Is it what I'm prompting? Is it just that the model just simply doesn't know? Like, I feel like anything AI related requires some serious QA.
Oh, 100%. And I've like I rebuilt an OpenClaw, and I always back it all, like everything's in front of Agent Gateway for me, just as a platform product, playing it out. But the one thing I noticed is using kind of Qwen. Maybe I'm not using it in the right way. I want to next is shrink my models down, use smaller specific models, and have some intelligence to decide which ones to use. And I heard that it is a better way. And I don't think it might be a computer. I don't know. Are you running this on your Mac or?
Well, so I tried to run Qwen on my Mac recently, and I literally started to hear crackling. So I was like, I should probably stop doing this.
Like, this thing is hot. This thing is hot. When I ask it to do something like go and update my Google Sheets or Google Docs to make a document, it's hot.
It gets spicy.
But it's running at 100%.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, so like I've tried it across the board, and I'm on the same page as you. Like, I'm waiting for my DGX because like what I want to do is I want to run small models. Like I think Qwen 3.6 is 27 billion parameters, and that's pretty small. But like I'd like to get smaller, and I'd like to run very small models for specifically what I'm looking to do. And in reality, it shouldn't be that difficult because a lot of what I do is like less prompting now and more like, hey, here's an open source repo, ingest the code base, understand the code base, put it into your context. Do you have it in your context? Yes. Okay, cool. Now let's get to work, right? Because you understand the code. Like, the code base doesn't lie, right? Like docs lie, blogs lie, Reddit lies. The code does
Twitter
not
lies, or X lies. Right, 100%.
But the code, it's what it is, right? It's what it can do, and that's it, right? That's the stack. So realistically, it should not be that difficult to get good results. The problem is, again, like I think it really comes down to the hardware that you're running on and the reasoning capabilities, which comes down to the processing, which comes down to the hardware. So,
but you can also add like skill, like, so I'm just testing out a bunch of things, and I'm trying to use like the agent evals to evaluate. I'm like trying to set up like a perfect environment across these systems, and running agent evals with it. But when I'm building anything, I'm trying to make sure the skill and the context and the agent MD files are really the same across these things. So I don't know, I'm just playing around and seeing which one's better, seeing how they respond better. Like, I'm running the 36 billion parameter model. Is it 36? Which one am I running? Yeah, 30. Qwen 3.35 billion model.
35 billion.
Yeah.
Is that the one I'm running?
And this thing runs 100%. Like, it runs 100%.
Yeah.
Like 90% every time. I ask it, what's 2 + 2? Boom, 100%. Like the dumbest question itself. I don't mind. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But other than that, like the Pi stuff I've been looking into, pi.dev, because it's just a minimal coding harness. So then I can, and I've had an interesting conversation this week with customers that they're looking at Pi because they know Claude's locking stuff down, right? They know they're going to be this customer's going to be using local models. They have some HIPAA compliance that they want to use. They want to know all the skills, all the packages, all the little details that anybody's going to be using in this coding harness. So they're looking to wrap Pi for them. And of course, in front of it, they can easily add Agent Gateway. They can tie into Agent Registry to grab skills and pull skills off of. But it's kind of interesting that, now you can have this coding harness that's minimalist, and you could literally ask it, hey, duplicate my Claude features, and it will go ahead and just grab what Claude is running in the terminal, and then it will just add that feature to it or a package to it. So you could actually you can make it just look like Claude, with all the same features. Like literally, I asked it to create the remote feature for me. So now I have Pi with remote access, just like I have with Claude, except that's on my Telegram or my WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And now I'm just interacting with my coding harness or my coding harness agent that I've added for specific, like I just built one specifically for Agent Gateway that's running this repo I posted. Just that. I'm like, you're in charge of this repo, right? If there's an update inside, like check every 4 days. If there's a new code release that's published, make the change, notify me through Telegram, and tell me the changes, tell me the features, tell me the fixes that the team has pushed into the GitHub, and I will tell you if you're going to make those changes in the environment. And it works very well. Like right now, that's what its only sole purpose is for that one specific workflow.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, like I'm looking at it. Excuse me. Open code best for users wanting an out-of-the-box polished Claude Code alternative. Pi, the minimalist platform. Engineers design and control, minimal context usage, and high customization. Yeah, it makes sense.
Because you can brand it, and then you can package it, and as an enterprise, just hey, this is the one you're using. Though you could have Bedrock and Claude and OpenAI and all these models, but maybe you want to audit everything that they type in or whatever it is. I don't know, just a thought.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I got to try it out. Nice. Yeah. So how's the DGX, man? I know you just got it. Give us the details. Is it so two things? Is it worth the price tag? And how is the inference from a performance perspective?
From a performance perspective, I've had no hiccups. Like I feel like, of course, Opus and 5.5 are still way better, right? I find that it's great at different tasks. I don't look at tokens per second or anything like that. I'm not even tracking that right now. I think I have it. It's all proxied through Agent Gateway, but I'm not tracking it because it is fast enough. Like I'm not noticing any delays. I ask it a big question, it goes and does its thing. I haven't pushed it to its limits. Like I use it the same way you just mentioned it, right? Like, hey, I'm building out whatever agent registry or something. Go look at the code base. Tell me what features, what are the things. All right, build me the YAML, build me the config, upload it and do it. And it has been great so far. But I'm just using it right now as a single large language model with the biggest one I could possibly put on. Probably this weekend or next week, I'll probably play around with it more with like smaller models and then somehow do some type of load balancing or feed it more things. But right now, as I'm using it, it's great because it runs locally and I'm not spending any tokens. Like,
right. And that's interesting because like now you don't even have to look at tokens anymore. Well,
I don't even care.
It doesn't.
I do look at it, but I always see cost zero.
Right.
Like if I open code, I run some cost zero. It doesn't matter. Like I'm at, I think I like 400,000 tokens in one request. Cost zero. I'm like perfect.
Right.
Like let's go. Like,
and that's a pretty interesting world, right? Where like you spend $4,600 USD, then you spend maybe a weekend, maybe 2 weekends figuring out what model you like, right? Based on like raw base performance testing. And then you say, okay, I like this model enough to invest into some fine tuning, right? And then you go on Claude or GPT or whatever, and you say, hey, I want to fine tune. I want to use PyTorch and LoRa. Give me what I need, right? And then you do your fine tuning. And then after that, you just don't spend any more money. So like if time is money, right? And I'm talking like for personal, but also for organizations. Like if time is money, you're maybe spending 40 hours maybe, and $4,600. And now you don't have to worry about token cost anymore. And you have a model designed specifically for what you're looking to do. And the question is do you think that's the future? I don't know. It's tough to tell.
Well, I think it's just going to get smaller and smaller and smaller, right? Being able to run these, like look at the new Mac M5s, right? You can run the same models on these things now, right? I think it'll eventually happen. Like we
Yeah.
can run models on our phone, specific little light ones.
Oh, yeah.
How we see it in production, it might be a little different because it's just another thing to manage the models. But if you can fine tune those models and add things to them,
Yeah.
right, the AI or ML or database or SRE teams who are managing them, right, they will be doing that. But it has to be workflow specific. It's all based on those. What is the workflow we're helping solve with it?
Yeah.
Because other than that, it's they're just useless to answer questions unless we're maybe not useless, but to me, it's a workflow thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What is security? Well, you got to apply some form of security and not sending all that data to, Sam and Darius and
Right.
stuff like that. Who knows what they're doing with it?
It's 100% a security thing. Well, it's three things. It's a security thing, right? If we're thinking about data sovereignty, if we're thinking about, okay, I want to run these models locally because I don't want this data to go anywhere else, right? It is also, to be fair, a convenience thing, right?
Yeah.
Because from a convenience perspective, you're just getting this model that you're paying for, and you're using Codex or Claude Code, and it works out of the box, batteries included, with everything you could possibly imagine. So if time is money, right, like there's a convenience factor here. And but also on the flip side, I mean, it's like, so I saw this meme the other day where it was like, when the CFO realizes that all the people they laid off is more than they're spending more in tokens than the people they laid off or whatever,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so like that's like the reality as well, where does saving money end up justifying the means for organizations when it comes to giving up ease of use? I don't know.
I like ease of use will always, I think, win.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
100%.
It doesn't matter how hard I've seen tons of products in my lifetime where amazing products, but man, just to get it working.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or get it working on a production scale. And that was a big one. In the Kubernetes space, there's a big one. I totally forgot. Crossplane, was it Crossplane? Was that the one? It was like, it looked great, but then in a production environment, I heard it's just a mass undertaking to manage this platform, whatever it was. But
yeah, yeah, and to your point, right? Like how much great software has been written that's never seen the light of day, right? Because of marketing or ease of use or whatever it is. And yeah, it's typically ease of use. It's typically like, can you explain this to me in like 5 words or less, or 6 words or less?
What do you do? Like what is it you do?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a lot to think about. I think it will go by sector, right? Because it's like at the end of the day, for example, there's still a lot of data centers. And the reason why there's still a lot of data centers is because a lot of companies need to be able to manage their data, right? But not only that, they also need to be able to manage bandwidth. They need to be able to manage speed. They need to be able to manage when an upgrade occurs, right? There's all these things that come into play, which is why you still see things like OpenStack and such in the wild, right? Because it's like people want that cloud-like environment, but they need to be able to manage the hardware. And even though we probably don't hear about it all that much, it's like that's still a very big piece of the tech industry. And I could assume maybe like LLMs may kind of go the same way, right? It's like for a startup, yeah, go use a GPT model or a Claude model or whatever. But for an organization that it's like they're losing millions of dollars if your inference speed is down 0.00001%, those are probably going to be the ones that are like, we have to manage this ourselves. We have to manage everything around it. Maybe.
Yeah, well, and not everything has to be in the cloud and has to have AI on it, right? There's thousands, like, of workflows and that are doing things faster than they need to. They don't require all those components, right? They're best suited for on-prem, especially in some of the financials or trading things itself. I noticed you have a KCD shirt on. Is there a KCD in New York happening, or is that 2026? Or
yeah, it's June 10th. I think this is from 2025 because I spoke at KCD last year. But I think it's June 10th. You're going to the one May 14th?
May 13th. I'm just gonna post it in here. Yeah, we've got Solo sponsoring it, which is awesome. So I love the KCD in Toronto is a great crowd because it's a lot of financials, a lot of good customers, and a lot of great friends meet up, which is awesome. I actually sponsored it like 4 years ago or 5 years ago, just with my face. Like, I just paid for like Wi-Fi. I just wanted to get into it.
Did anything come out of it? Did any good leads?
It did, yeah, 100%. Yeah, definitely some projects and contracts came out of that.
That's awesome. Nice.
Which was awesome.
Yeah,
but I did enjoy doing it. And we'll be there. We'll be talking about AI stuff and be talking about ambient. So I'm really pumped to do it. So if anybody is listening that's in Toronto, definitely come. You get to see my face. Talk to me.
And who doesn't want that?
Oh, I know.
All right.
You were doing a talk, right? You had a talk. Wasn't it last week?
Yeah,
or this week?
I did a talk on Tuesday. That was a pretty good one. Really great crowd. Sorry?
What was it about?
So I talked about pretty much all things security when it comes to LLMs and MCP. And it's one of those topics where you kind of know that it's true, but at the same time, when you when you say the words to other people, it like everybody kind of looks around and like they're like, oh, he's right, and you're like, oh yeah, it is accurate. So like the one thing that I kept saying throughout was like, pretty much anything you want to do from a security perspective when it comes to AI, any governance, any security, any policy enforcement happens at the gateway level.
Yeah.
Like 99% of what you want to do from an AI governance and security perspective comes down to what is possible with your gateway. And that was like a big theme that I was kind of talking about, where like I went into things like, your prompt guards and your rate limiting and your guardrails, but then I also went into like OBO and OIDC based OAuth and all these different things. And then I went into like cost optimization, right, with tokens in, tokens out. And after each section, like I looked around the room and I was like, please correct me if I'm wrong, but can anybody tell me how to do any of this without a gateway? And nobody could. And it's like, yeah, because you can't. Right? Like it's so ironic to me how like you really can't do much from a, again, security and governance perspective when it comes to AI without a good AI gateway. And that's why we focus so much on Agent Gateway, right? Because without something like that, you're kind of stuck. You really can't do anything security wise. Like what? No. Like this is actually a good question. Like, can you think of anything that you can do without a gateway from a security standpoint, other than, let's say, OIDC for general authentication and authorization of logging into an agent framework runtime like KAgent? Like, can you think of anything else?
Well, no, you need it unless you're applying that security stuff inside, the code that you're building those agents.
Right.
And then you're relying on somebody else to ensure that they're following those policies across the board, which, everybody's you're going to use GPT to write your code. I'm going to use Qwen. The other guy's going to use DeepSeek. They're all going to give me different information. One's going to inject some data from another national entity, who you have no idea, right?
No idea.
That's why, like, and the Christian Post had tons of posts about it, like, but having that security, the the MCP or A2A connectivity between these agents is super important, and it's going to evolve, and you can see like other like big security companies are buying, or they're trying to build or buy gateways specifically to solve that problem, be it from an endpoint perspective or from a data center infrastructure perspective.
Right.
Because we're going to be seeing people spin up MCP servers left and right. And I've seen that at a customer this week. They have like a probably 20, 30 already running inside their production environment, and they have no visibility of it, right? Yeah, it's running in a pipeline, it's running through code and all that stuff. It runs in Kubernetes, but eventually, you're going to need to be able to maintain that and have visibility of what are these things doing. And then, as you add those things from those staging environments to production, let's add those guardrails so we can actually audit and see, because audit and logging is going to be important, especially if something goes rogue. How does this CFO or CTO explain, hey, this MCP agent went rogue with this MCP server, or what went rogue? Well, I have no idea.
Yeah.
How many tools does it have? I don't know. It's 20. Which one did it use? I don't know.
Right.
It just did it. And now we have no idea.
Yeah. And that's like I saw this post on Reddit, I think last week or the week before. I don't even think time's real anymore, so I don't remember. But it was like, we have 40 agents running, and like, we don't know what half of them do anymore. And it's like,
that's scary.
It's scary, dude. It's
Right.
Yeah. Well, all right.
Well, I'm sure people have like coming back, like my big I spent a lot of time in the networking space, and I've audited firewall rules, I've audited F5 load balancers, and stagnant configuration is always there, and it affects the system entirely.
Yeah.
Right. I've seen F5 with 10,000 or 5,000 VIPs, only like 20 of them work, but it just boggles the system down, right? The same thing in the cloud, right? We have the whole drift if everybody's using Terraform or deploying things differently, right? There's a whole different aspect of it, but it's going to be the same, right? And especially if everybody's saying, hey, if you have 10,000 employees, you're going to have 10,000 agents, and then those 10,000 agents are going to have probably 100,000 skills or whatever it is per agent, and then another subset of MCP tools, servers, right? That's got to sit somewhere, be it if it's going to be in Kubernetes or in some serverless mode or in some harness. You got to know, how to track it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
makes sense. A lot to think about.
It's just the fun stuff, man. Like next month, it's going to be, it's May.
Something different.
Right? It's got to be May. And we're going to keep on evolving and adapting to it.
Yeah.
Right? I'm loving it, but I do love having my own personal LLM.
Yeah.
That I don't need to worry about tokens. I just go figure it out. I don't care.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah. What about like marketing material? Have you tried anything with like slides or images or anything?
I've done stuff with images, but more from like Mermaid. More flow diagrams, nothing like kind of what Canva or Claude Design does. Like a lot of the stuff is very generic, the way all the slides are. You can literally tell a slide and a design was done through Claude or through Gemini. Well, at least Gemini might be a little better. So I don't know, I've been kind of using them less and building them myself. Because I find telling a story is a little better, with how I want it to represent it. But these things are going to get better. Like it's going to happen.
You would assume, right? Like maybe, like it, and that's the weird part, right? And this is, maybe we can leave everybody with this. Like, is it going to get better, or is it going to get worse, or is it going to stay as is, right? And if it stays as is, are we good to go?
Nothing stays as is, man. Nothing stays as is.
So a lot of people talk about at some point, like unless there's AGI in it, they can't get better because there's no more information to train it on. Like the only reason that these things know how to do stuff is because the information is out there. But if there's no new information,
well, as it evolves, we evolve with it. Like you're faster at doing things, I'm faster at doing things.
Right.
My brain is consuming more than it was, 3-4 years ago.
True.
So now I'm creating more things, so then I can feed it more things. Like it's still, AGI is not there, but as a human, I still think differently than a computer, right? I can still be more creative than it, and it, as it learns that I'm more creative, it can get better, right? I feel that's what I feel like.
Reminds me of the dead internet theory, though, man. It's like if I'm using the AI to do stuff and it's doing stuff and I'm putting that stuff out there, and then the AI is getting trained on the stuff that it did. Is anything real anymore? I don't know.
Red pill, blue pill, right?
All right. Well, I think next week we might actually be able to get the full hour in. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we'll schedule some. We got to do some more demo stuff. I think we should do some cool demos.
Yes.
I'll line some stuff with Agent Registry, and we got some cool announcements coming up next week. So that might work perfectly with what we're announcing at Solo. So I'm kind of pumped for that.
Sounds good. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for listening. And Seb, thanks for hopping on.
Always, my friend. Have a good day.
You too.